Welcome back to Quantum Boredom. Yeah, still.
So is this going to be one of those parts where we actually see the innovative stuff get wasted, or is this just going to be one of those parts where we see a lot of stupid stuff? There's so many flavors of stupidity to be had with this game.
Who knows, Jova? Maybe both.
Or maybe neither, because this game's that bland.
Yeah.
Again, I have never seen a game be so innovative yet so bland at the same time. It's like, how do you do that?
Oh, look, another email for us to read.
About Jack.
It's all rumors. Blah, blah.
I don't care. Moving on.
You know, in Last of Us, it's nice to actually read some of this stuff because you can get context to your surroundings here and there.
And it's superfluous. If you don't care about learning extra lore on the places you're visiting, just don't read them.
I guess, to be fair, you could maybe argue that's the case with it being superfluous here, except for...
Yeah, but here's the big difference, Jova. In Naughty Dog's games, you don't have to read any of the narrative objects to make sense of the story, like in this game. And that's even assuming that reading these things actually does indeed make everything make sense, because I still have my doubts, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was about to say, Nico. Honestly, from what we've read of the emails, they seem more superfluous. Who's the one saying that reading these is necessary for understanding
these audios overlapping is a clusterfuck.
That too. Honestly, Jova, I haven't even been reading them. I've just been kind of skimming them because I can't really bother to care.
Oh, I get that. I'm just wondering, Michael. So, who's the one saying that reading these helps the narrative? Like, well, at least
I don't know, Jove. I'm assuming that's probably one of the defenses fans of this game gave, but whatever. Go ahead.
Final
Fantasy,
at least for Final Fantasy 13, we knew for certain that, reading that dialogue would actually help us make heads or tails of the plot.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you there. I mean, a lot of... yes, they do provide some extra bit of information, but it still didn't really help anything in the grand scheme of things.
Well, hold on, Pedro. You yourself said that reading the dialogue was pretty much needed to get what was going on in 13.
Well, yeah, on a superficial way, yes, but the plot still ends up being nonsensical, regardless of whether or not you read them.
Oh, well, I wasn't talking about making the plot nonsensical. I was talking more about actually understanding what's going on.
Alright, and this is where we get introduced to the time bomb. Or time blast, whatever. Basically, press and hold the right trigger, and then release for an explosion. There you go.
Because,
So essentially, the equivalent of a grenade.
Okay, correct. Okay, someone can... Dwebs, you've watched a lot of Doctor Who. Since when does having time travel powers allow you to make things explode at random?
If you overheat the nucleus of the TARDIS, I guess that can happen.
Yeah, that's an actual machine.
But yeah, that's a machine. Jova has a point.
Okay.
It's time travel. Time travel doesn't involve combustion. I mean...
Hell, time alone may be just a construct that it doesn't actually exist.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is that they seem to be really hoping that people suspend their disbelief enough to believe that time is somehow a physical object in a lot of these cases.
Then again, Jova, the new Doom is implying that actually the very essence of hell can be harvested as a combustible energy, so who knows?
Well, to be fair, with Doom, that's more so the rule of cool, and the game itself is actually awesome enough that, I can actually let that pass. Here, well, this is the very fabrics upon which these powers go, and may I remind you, we probably won't be able to use these at certain points anyway. Am I right, Pedro?
Mm-hmm. Well, the thing is, Jova, most of the time powers are just kind of there. I'm just basically going to use the time bubble, which freezes enemies, and the time blast, which you just saw. Those are really the only real time powers that are really useful. The others are just kind of, who cares? This game is so easy that it doesn't really encourage me to experiment.
I'm just wondering though, do you get to use the time bomb again? Never of your
don't worry. Don't worry, Jova. Remember, I can use time blast as much as I can, as long as I let it recharge after one use.
All right then. Fair enough. But yeah,
there's going to be a lot of time blasting throughout this playthrough because it's one of the easiest way to kill enemies.
Fair enough. Anyway, though, regarding comparing this to Doom again, another difference is that with Doom, you actually get to use your power-ups for the most part. With this game, there are literally some powers that you can only use in certain areas. So, again, if you're going to have powers be, that superficial and how useful they are, then give a reason why they're only really able to be used. What the heck? Did that guy,
It
die?
just disappeared.
I don't know. I used a time blast on him, and then all of a sudden he just disappeared.
Enemy disappeared. Are we in the SNES?
Granted, that's kind of what the time blast does, of sorts. But at the same time, what happened there? He stopped. His model froze. I shot him, and then the model just clipped out of existence.
Does this mean that he is somehow trapped in between walls?
I don't know, and quite frankly,
Pedro,
I don't care.
No, Pedro, it's not a glitch. It's the time travel.
Oh,
It's
okay.
like I said, look, enemies disappearing upon being defeated. Okay, that happens sometimes, but that just gives me old school game vibes.
Not 2016 game vibes.
Not really.
I find it interesting.
Whoa, dubstep.
I find it interesting how Jack, our supposed hero and protagonist, has still received 0 character development as of yet.
For all we know, he's a madman just gunning down all these people.
Yeah, maybe that's the plot twist, Jova. He's actually imagining all of these, and he's actually crazy, and these people are trying to stop him.
See, here's the thing.
That twist would have made the Book of Henry a work of genius. Turns out there was never any child abuse to begin with. Henry was just nuts.
See, here's the thing. For as much as he is the bad guy, Paul is closer to being the hero of things. Like, for one thing, Paul, we know more about Paul. We know more about Paul's motivations. Heck, him seeing the end of the world, even though we're never shown it, and that in and of itself is a problem, we at least know why he's doing the stuff he's doing, and he at least seems to be trying to save people with it. Yes, this is, of course, ignoring any possible plot twist that may require it to be vile or something, but honestly, if you had to pick between the two, let's see, Jack Joyce lost his brother, okay, takes it out on several soldiers, some of which had nothing to do with killing his brother. I mean, yeah.
Well, to be fair, they're the ones attacking him first.
Yeah, fair enough. But again, here's the problem, though. If Jack is supposedly the hero, and he has time travel powers, some of the most OP time travel powers, shouldn't he be able to find more ways of, maybe disarming them, like having the choice not to kill them? Like how he grabbed 2 guns out of those 2 other soldiers during the TV episode.
You mean Liam and Beth? You mean Liam and Beth?
Yeah.
Because
we need to be important in the show. We cannot kill them.
Yeah.
And again, may I remind you, we had a scene where he literally said that was for William to a guy who I'm pretty sure had nothing to do with killing William. So these guys are attacking him first, but we have the huge implication that he's doing this all out of vengeance as opposed to trying to save the day.
And even then, honestly...
go on.
And even then, honestly, most of it just boils around to... He doesn't even have any particular motivation for doing this, because Will is already dead, as far as he knows. So honestly, he's just basically... He's just here because, we need a story, I guess.
I mean, if you're trying to find answers, again, if you're just trying to find answers, wouldn't going with Paul have been the better option, since I think Paul was just trying to apprehend him?
I don't know, Jova, honestly.
Yeah, where did Amy went?
She's outside, and we have an intercommunicator that we can communicate with somehow.
And there's no other soldiers waiting outside to
PHL.
snatch her up.
Again, you don't have an earpiece. Usually those are used. I mean, it was silly in Dark Void, but here it's even more.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. I mean, I guess maybe he's listening to her for a walkie-talkie.
Usually when you have a usually when you have a mission control, radio control, the character usually have even an earpiece or something that he uses to communicate and has an animation tied to it. I mean, like in the Batman Arkham games, every time Batman talks with someone.
This door I can rewind.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not.
Because There's a button prompt to it, I guess.
Also, his time travel powers are so badass that he can apparently make it so that people are there now too. What?
So if that's the case, why don't you just bring back his brother?
Yeah,
that's what Job asked in the previous part, I think.
Yeah.
But now it's even worse, Theo, because now we clearly see that he very well could do it right there.
Well, again, maybe it's
Okay,
because of
here's how
the
this
chronon concentration.
The way this works is you
How
have
long
to.
was it ago?
I don't know, Dibs. Sorry. Narrative objects found, whatever it is. Oh, look, a laptop. Let's see what's in it.
Mr. Douche Banana.
An email to Martin. I've been monitoring company, blah, blah. Oh, God, such a big wall of text.
You know, I don't know if I mentioned already, but I really pity the localizer team for Europe who has to translate all these boring text walls in Multi-5.
Yeah.
Well, hey, maybe the game was written originally in Finnish, and they translated it there.
Why can't you jump there? Like,
remember, Jova, the climbing system works in a way where I can only climb the things that Sam has Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
Turns out I can climb this. Never mind.
More arbitrary situational stuff.
I'm guessing I have to climb the specific box that the developers intend me to climb.
You know, I just like to wonder, since Jack can actually bring some people back from the dead with these powers, you know, you have to wonder, since these people are being brought into a different time themselves, does that mean that there are two of those people? What do those people themselves think? There's so many things you could explore about this to make it more interesting.
Time travel is bullshit.
Well, okay.
I gotta say, this has to be the most boring thing to ever come out of Finland. I haven't seen much Finnish stuff, but actually, I've seen Max Payne, so yeah, what the hell?
Like, okay, ignoring the usual time travel bollocks, there's so much.
Great, this filter. Go ahead,
There's
Jova.
so much potential that they're missing here. Like, you know, if you don't want to flesh out the story itself, why not flesh out stuff surrounding the gameplay? Why not have people react to time changing? Why not get different dialogue bits? Why not explore the effects that this is having on time continuum?
This game doesn't even feel like it was made by an actual artist who had a vision. It feels like it was prefabricated in a factory and packaged and sold to you by for $60.
Like, I hate that I have to go here, but for as
it's
bad as Final Fantasy
it's the Blue Dragon of Sam Lake.
I know, right? You know, I can't believe I'm going here, but with Final Fantasy XIII 2, yes, the way that story handled time travel was completely brainless, but at least it actually did more interesting things with it than this game.
This game was built in the way that it feels like it was made like, okay, what's considered cool among gamers, and you know, overall nerds and shit. Time travel. Okay, let's have time travel in it. Check. Let's have guns in it. Check. Let's have live action cutscenes because it's cool and hip. Check. Like,
sir, should we include cover in our cover system?
Nah. Why?
Okay.
Johnson, Johnson, since when?
Go ahead.
Johnson, since when have cover-based shooters required cover systems?
In a Microsoft game.
A cover-based shooter with a cover system. Now that's fun.
And while we're at it, no melee attacks. You don't want to actually have people going around and punch others. Only guns allowed.
Yes. Guns are cool, punches are bad.
You know, game, when you're making Call of Duty look like it's more fleshed out than you have problems.
Yeah.
Several.
Like, Call of Duty is like, shall I say,
the primary example of games prefabricated in factories, and yet this game is somehow feeling even less artistic.
Yeah, that's actually a better comparison.
It's... everything about it is just so cold and calculated, and nothing about it feels like it was made by people who had a vision. Everything about it is so by the numbers and complete, devoid of creativity whatsoever.
And again, similar to Mighty Number 9, this game is made all the more frustrating when it practically taunts you with the times when it actually does have interesting ideas up its sleeves. It's like, normally, a game like this is just, completely bland and a checklist, but this game, it feels like it taunts you with the times when it actually does sport its good ideas. Like, heck, the puzzle platforming at times, and what the heck?
It's a time stopping.
Yeah. Remember, sometimes we enter zones where the time is stopped.
Remember, Joe, a time broke, and now it's breaking more and more frequently as the game goes on to illustrate the fact that time is breaking down, and eventually will stop altogether, unless we
Silent Hill.
Unless we save it.
I wish I was playing a Silent Hill game.
I don't know. Also, I don't know why, but why is this game making me think of Max Payne?
Because it's the same developer.
Team.
Oh yeah, that's true. Well, for 1 and 2 anyway.
Yeah,
I never actually played. I've played a bit of 1, but I've never played 2 or 3.
The thing about 3 is that it's a good game on its own merits, but as a Max Payne game, it just doesn't work.
Oh yeah, because it was. I heard there was like massive tonal shifts and apparently the reception to how it was going was so bad that Rockstar ended up putting in flashbacks with stuff back at. With stuff with
Chronon containers.
How Max Payne was meant to look like.
Destroy Chronon containers by attacking blah blah blah.
So essentially, if I recall correctly, this is the part where you introduce those soldiers that move through time freezing pieces, and in order to defeat them, you had to shoot the backpacks.
Basically, if I remember correctly, yes. Anyway, it's not even just that, Dwibs. Like, you see, Dan Houser made Max Payne 3, what we always know Rockstar for, raunchy, over-the-top games that are very Quentin Tarantino / Scorsese-esque in tone. Whereas Max Payne 1 and 2, of course, were nothing like that. They were film noir stuff.
Yeah.
Which is why a lot of fans felt betrayed, because it was not a Max Payne game, plain and simple. It's a good game on its own merits. It's a Rockstar game, essentially. The problem is that that's not at all what Max Payne was to begin with. So I get the feeling that Rockstar should have just left that one alone if they were not going to make a proper sequel.
Dibs, did they actually fulfill their promise of having your multiplayer gang, the best multiplayer gang, appear in GTA 5?
Sorry, what was that again, Tia?
Apparently they had like a competition or something, but the best gang made by players of Max Payne 3 online will have actually appeared in GTA 5.
I don't know for sure on that one. I mean, how would they even do that? Max Payne 3 and GTA 5 came out within like a year of each other.
Yeah, that's what we did, using cross saves for the PS3, 360, and PC, I guess.
I don't know. It's like I said, I never played Max Payne 3. I'm pretty sure I can get all 3 games. I mean, I got the first one. I can just get 2 on. I can get 2 and 3 on the cheap, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't this riveting?
Yeah, it's so riveting. We're talking about better games. That,
also, you really just tend to be either a single cover without moving forward, and it's enough because the enemy blindly charged you.
I gotta say, this is a really weird place to choose to have this not have background.
Well, why should I do? Why should I do any of the work if the AI does all the work for me?
Yeah, a good cover shooter will actually have some enemies with grenade launcher that try to put you away from your cover in order to diversify the tactics, but we'll have to perish the thought.
Yeah, a lot of
that would mean we'd have to work.
That's one of the best things I love about playing the multiplayer in Uncharted 4, because it's so cool to. Because I mean, don't get me wrong, the AI on Uncharted 4 is great for the single player campaign, but playing with actual human beings is even better because it's even more unpredictable.
But you can't use Fat Nathan Drake 0 out of 10.
Actually, you can. So.
Nope. I don't know if they corrected it, but for 4, the devs specifically stated that they didn't wanted to include it back because it would have offended the fat people or something.
Oh, that. Whatever.
Not that I care.
I'm not exactly thin, but I wouldn't have been offended.
But remember,
Well, that's into modern internet for you, Dweebs.
I've learned a valuable lesson.
And knowing is half of the more you know.
I'll probably forget it tomorrow, but still.
Well, it's better than just forgetting immediately.
By the way, Pedro, is that you choosing to crouch, or is that the game choosing when you can crouch?
Jova, me choosing when to crouch would imply that this game has a cover system.
So let me get this straight. For some reason, Jack just crouches at the top of the stairs.
Get near something, and if it is a cover spot, he will take cover by crouching.
So that means that this game counts the guardrails, which they can easily shoot through as cover because he was crouching near them.
You figured that one out.
Hit detection, Jova, apparently.
That'd be like trying to hide behind a sieve.
Oh God, more text.
Whoa.
Chronon Tech Phase 2 Miles. There you go, Till. You want to learn about how Chronon technology works? You have to read this wall of text. Now you know.
It's not pleasant looking.
When you get this game in a Steam sale, now you know what to read.
Actually, I've heard the PC version.
It's like I actually have to study something and not.
This game makes me feel like I'm at school.
Well, that's a problem, Pedro. I normally write.
Hold on,
I'm a contributor.
Go ahead.
I'm a contributor and write in several wikias, but so I'm usually I'm used to actually have these walls of text with nothing but describing what the lore behind stuff. But these are just boring to read in general. It's the presentation that kills them.
Yeah.
I can imagine this game actually taking place at.
The lore in Ni no Kuni is fun to read because it's packaged around really fun stories that stand on their own as good stories.
And the way they're presented to you, segmented in specific pieces with illustration to ease your attention and everything. Here is just wall of text, profile picture who sent it.
So now we can lift the platform while we're on top of it.
You mentioned school earlier. I can imagine this game actually. I can imagine a real school being made by Sam Lake trying to teach people how this game's story works.
Okay, class. Today we're going to learn about Chronon energy. Mr. Teo, do you know? Have you studied the lesson on Chronon materials?
I answer by making the Max Payne face, which was based on Sam Lake's face. In fact, I think he cameos in Alan Wake. With that.
Greetings, everyone. My name is Mr. Lake, and today we are going to learn how time travel works in this game.
Oh, God.
Mr. Jova.
What?
Mr. Jova.
What?
How does the time travel work in this game?
It constantly changes how it works because of time cancer.
I want a proper answer.
I know this one. If you change the future, you change the past.
Wrong game. Go to the corner, Mr. Teo. I was asking Jova anyway.
Darn.
Whatever,
Jova.
it's Chronon energy flowing through the bodies of Jack, Joyce, and Paul. What's his name?
Wrong.
CIA.
Wrong. Do you know why you're wrong? Because I literally just changed it.
Yeah, that's literally how this game treats time travel. Hey, I've got all these established rules. But then my character wouldn't be able to do this. Alright, I'll just change it here. And here.
Spork.
I want to be generous and say that some of these inconsistencies were also dictated by the rush development, but I'm sorry. If rushing your game produces these results, you just should quietly cancel it altogether.
And here's what I don't get. I mean, this game was
if you seriously expect a product like this to sell and without consequences, I'm sorry, you're really deluded.
It was. Sorry, go ahead, Jova.
Speaking of which, I don't even get why this game was rushed because this game was originally supposed to be an Xbox One launch title, but then they delayed it
for all the reasons we know.
So why on earth did they feel the need to rush it if they delayed it in the first?
Well, remember, Jova, the reason for that is because they had to consistently change everything because Microsoft completely backpedaled on the whole TV thing like 2 months after this game was first announced. So as a result, Microsoft told Remedy, okay, never mind, we're canceling the TV show, so put whatever TV footage you've recorded on the actual game.
So then that begs the question then, how much of a story were they planning to tell in the TV episodes if that's the reason
If we were
why this
thinking,
turned out
a
so
standard
badly?
TV series season, probably between the 12 and the 24 episodes.
So that would mean that a lot of the reason that we don't get... Oh my god, Jack,
Again,
really?
Jova, it's
He
like
cannot
Samurai
climb that thing. I
Yeah,
cannot
it's-
believe this climbing system.
Again,
Again,
if Sonic
Jova,
and Sonic Lost World can parkour just about off of every surface, you should be able to program him able to get over that tiny little ledge.
Go ahead.
Also, Jova, it's like Samurai Jack season 5 finale. We had to squeeze in probably 5 or 6 episodes into one.
So then in that case, they had a fundamental flaw from the beginning, if that means that most of the plot was conveyed via those
Yeah,
two
again, if
episodes.
it's probably Microsoft fault to that. If the developers actually, please,
Sorry.
if the developers actually had some way say in the matter, we should have probably still delayed the game in order to give a bit more stability.
What was that?
Well, remember,
Jack?
Teo, the thing is... Well, the problem is, Teo, remember... it's two things, Teo. One, this game was, of course... by the time Microsoft was backpedaling on the TV thing, they already wasted a lot of money on this project, so I'm guessing they didn't want to afford to cancel it because they wanted that money to at least go somewhere. So they had to somehow still get this game out the door. The problem is that, as you said, the problem with this game is it's so incredibly bland and devoid of personality that it's not going to attract any casual gamer who might just want to pick up a random game at first. It's not gonna appeal to Remedy fans because Remedy fans are used to much better from this developer. It's not going to. It's not going to appeal. There's also the fact that this game is a completely new IP, so obviously it doesn't have a pre-established fan base to go on.
And even the Call of Duty fan base will find nothing here of that's completely freshing or that's appealing to them, especially because it lacks multiplayer anyway. So.
In a basic sense, this game basically has no appeal of any kind. And that of course reflects in the sales. Barely anyone bought this thing.
Ring, ring,
Yeah, I
ring,
mean,
ring,
now-
ring, ring, ring. Banana phone.
Now, ironically, had this been a launch title, it might not have gotten as fast as it did. I mean, don't get me wrong, it would have had a lot of problems, but it might have been considered maybe more innovative for its time, but I'm sorry, at this point, there have been plenty of games that have done mechanics similar to time travel. Maybe not specifically called time travel, but you've seen...
Oh, hold on, sorry, Jeff, I have to mention this. Believe it or not, this particular dialogue is the beginning of a subplot. Believe it or not, the game will dedicate a subplot in the walls of text about this screenplay that this guy is presenting to Sofia Amaral. And look how big this wall of text is. It's an actual proper screenplay. And believe it, guys, this is not the last time we'll hear about this screenplay. There's going to be other walls of text that continue this end of Act 1. So that's end of Act 1. And believe it or not, we will see Acts 2 and 3 later on. They bothered to create... They bothered to Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry.
They bothered to create an entire subplot out of this screenplay that has nothing to do with anything. Go ahead.
You know what's sad? This entire screenplay is giving me nothing, but just from seeing a single cover of a Savage Starlight comic in Last of Us, I actually wanted an entire game based on that.
You know...
How sad is this?
Wow.
No, I want to see. I want to see someone manage to type in that wall of text, copy it, and have it and put it and film it and put it on YouTube as an actual little mini movie or something.
Allow me to what you said, Teo. One of the things that I would have loved to play that game that Riley describes to Ellie in the Left Behind DLC. Because it sounds pretty cool from what she's describing.
Yeah, this screenplay just reeks. Read me, please, I beg you.
Anyway, that's Quantum Boredom. So in the next part, we finish this particular gameplay act. So see you then.
See ya.
Wow, we're almost already at a TV episode.
See ya.